Welcome to NewsBall Storytime. In today's episode, it's about P. Diddy. Not that he just got arrested today, but a story I read a couple days ago. And this was hilarious. Let's see if I laugh just as much reading it a second time. There's a lot of legitimate lawsuits against him right now, probably. But this is not one of them. So here we go. And I had heard that Diddy lost a $100 million lawsuit, default judgment, which means he did not bother to respond, which is absurd. No rich, successful person with lawyers is going to just ignore someone's lawsuit against them. No matter what, they're going to respond. So that tells you right there that sets the tone for the comedy that this news story is. Diddy files emergency appeal against a $100 million ruling in sexual assault lawsuit. So Diddy is battling the $100 million default judgment that he was slapped with on Monday, claiming he never even received the lawsuit. When I heard that Diddy lost a $100 million lawsuit, I was like, he must not have gotten a copy of it. Sure enough, that's what he's claiming. The troubled rapper made the claim in an emergency motion filed Thursday, after he failed to turn up to court 3 days before, according to court documents. This meant that the claimant won the case by default, and that Diddy must now pay $10 million every month to them under the judgment, because it was a $100 million lawsuit. And you don't ignore a $100 million lawsuit, especially when you're rich and famous with lawyers. In the civil suit filed in June, Derek Lee Cardello Smith claimed this is him, by the way. Now, it's important to note he filed this lawsuit against Diddy from prison, where he is serving a very long sentence of many years. In the civil suit filed by Derek Lee Cardello Smith in June, he claimed that Diddy sexually assaulted him in 1997 after he joined the musician and two women in a private Detroit Holiday Inn hotel room following an after party where the two men had just met. Cardello Smith, who is currently in jail, alleged that when he started having sex with one of the women, he felt Diddy touch his buttocks, prompting him to cease sexual interactions. I really should get a copy of the lawsuit because the language of it would be hilarious. Buttocks. He went on to claim that Diddy noticed his disengagement and he offered him a drink, writing in the complaint, "I stayed sitting there and I began getting drowsy and started to pass out. Diddy spiked his drink?" He went on to claim that Diddy... Okay, I got that. He continued, "Then Sean Combs said to me, 'I added a little something to it for you.' I will get that from you anyway, one way or the other." So that's Diddy's quote, apparently. "I added a little something to it for you. I will get that from you anyway, one way or another." That's what this guy is alleging that Diddy did to his drink. And then Cardello Smith, who is serving up to 75, he's serving 75 years in prison, okay? For first-degree criminal sexual conduct and kidnapping charges. So he is serving life in prison for sexual assault and kidnapping. Basically tried to Stockholm someone. I don't know if it was a girl or a guy, but he alleged that he awoke up bleeding and in pain. "I ran out and I left and I never went back," he wrote, adding a claim that he filed a police report, even alleging the producer paid Detroit and police officers to keep it hidden. The lawyers for Diddy said, "This man is a convicted felon and sexual predator." Because he is. It's hilarious. It's so rich. A convicted sex offender who's doing life in prison is filing a lawsuit in pro se against Diddy. Maybe he thought Diddy was so swamped with other lawsuits that he could just slip one in there and Diddy would not even notice it. Well, yeah, you won't notice it if you never get served a lawsuit, which is required when you file a lawsuit. You have to serve the party you're suing. It's so obvious. Diddy never got served this lawsuit. This guy in jail did not hire a process server to go serve Diddy. This man is a convicted felon and sexual predator who has been sentenced on 14 counts on sexual assault and kidnapping over the last 26 years. Diddy's lawyer, Mark Anguilla, told the Detroit Metro, his resume now includes committing a fraud on the court from prison, as Mr. Combs has never heard of him, let alone been served with any lawsuit. Mr. Combs looks forward to having this judgment swiftly dismissed. This is just one of a number of lawsuits filed against the mogul, including this guy's allegations, accusing him of sexual assault. Most are ongoing. But Diddy said, "I added a little something to it for you. I will get that from you anyway, one way or another." And he fell asleep, I guess. He was fine drinking that, even though Diddy warned him of that. And he woke up bleeding and in pain. He ran out and never went back. And then he ended up, he ran out and never went back. And then he ended up going and doing an essay on who and getting life in prison. So he ran out of there after getting essayed, and then he went out and essayed some people, and now he's serving life in prison, and he's filing a $100 million lawsuit against Diddy, got a default judgment, and Diddy's now like, "Hey, wait, I never got a copy of this insane thing." Of course it's fake, because when it's a fake lawsuit, you don't serve the party, and you just try to get a summary judgment. But yeah, that's this dude. He's got no shame. He's not embarrassed. You're already in jail for life. Why not say that Diddy spiked your drink? It had his way with you. So that will do it for NewsBall Storytime, Episode 1. We're going to pick out a couple stories each week, curated stories. This one was funny. Next up will be absolutely horrifying. It's like, I don't know if you heard about this, the most horrifying story ever. The one detail involved in it is just absolutely horrifying. So that's next on NewsBall Storytime.